So now that we've gotten promoted, let's take a look at the season review, as well as some transfers, and maybe a new contract for yours truly. Yes. Hey there, welcome back. It's episode 18 of Dominating Denmark, and we've dominated the second division, just barely squeaking into the first division in second place, but we're dominating it. Anyway, so let's take a look at the season review. As you know, I guess you can see it there. Yep. We're on 38 points. 4 points clear. That's not domination, but we got up, right? So we only lost 2 games. That's what I'm most proud of, to be honest with you. Just saying. All right, so we have a bunch of players from this season that have been elected or inducted into the Frem Best 11 squad. So you've got Holm, Austin Kerr holding down that right position. So Camille wasn't able to snag it just yet. Falk coming in, Yao coming in, Jakobsen, our loanee is getting in, Kaltoft, another loanee getting in, Reiner Peterson, Stockholm, surprising. Larson, still a little surprising because I don't think he played all that well. And then Nissen, Larson, what did he play? He played a 6-7-6 on the left side, and yet he's in the overall best 11. What does that tell you? All right, Jorgensen picking up the goalkeeper spot, and then Bebensi, who's going to be our goalkeeper moving forward, in the backup spot. So Camille also on the substitutes list, as is Christensen, staring another loanee. Moomin only played, he made 17 appearances, I guess. That's fair. I was going to say he only played like 12 games, and then Adam Jakobsen. So pretty much our whole team, in some shape, form, or fashion, is in the best 11. So this really surprised me. Fan player of the season, Christian Stockholm. Made 21 appearances, to be fair, played a 7.08, but was kind of at the end of the season. You know, like we didn't play him for 5 games, so that's part of being meh. But he kind of just fell off, and, you know, we kind of subbed him on and, you know, did some things with him and whatever. I just surprised us that he was the signing of this, or the fan player of the season. You got Falk as having the goal of the season. These are never good, but we'll watch it just, you know, because. So let's see what they say. We've had some real winners on the opposite end from a howler, you know, fail of the week type thing. Holm, Falk. I mean, it was a good goal, but whatever. Signing of the season, Soren Bebensi, who is going to be our goalkeeper moving forward. 15 appearances, 6.89, 5 shutouts, 17 allowed, so a little more than 1 goal a game. Obviously, we scored a little bit more than 1 goal a game because we got promoted. And then young player of the season, Kaltoft, who played 25 games with a 1 substitute appearance with a 7.09. Legend. Played really well. So that's what's going on there. Let's take a look now at our transfers. All right, so here's the transfer list. So first you'll notice not a lot of outs. Well, I jumped ahead a couple days in the game. So we have let Simon the Giant walk. I just couldn't justify keeping Simon the Giant. I went ahead and renamed him, so if we see him in the future, we can kind of recognize him a little bit faster. He was on 65 a week. He's 2.5 star. He's all right, but dreaded playing in big matches. Unlikely to improve. Inconsistent. We already signed the other keeper. I mean, he's 6'11", 238 pounds, which is just, I don't know how many stone that is or whatever your unit of measurement is across the Atlantic Ocean. But he's a big old man. Just not a great fit for us. And then Brylov, I made a mistake, actually. We should have kept him. But I thought, we can just loan somebody. The first division, instead of having the U21 rule, you need to have 4 players in the 25-person maximum size roster that have been trained at your club. He fit into that description, and I went ahead before I realized that and, you know, released him on a free or set him for release, and then the end of the season came and off he went, which is unfortunate. But he didn't really play for us. He played 2 games in 16-17. He's all right, but again, he's not outstanding, doesn't enjoy big matches either, also fairly inconsistent. So, and he's running down. So those are the big ones. Danny Anderson was he played on our, look at this. He played on the B team and didn't even really play on the B team. He wasn't very good, was kind of collapsing physically. So we said, please go. He'd kind of been whinging a bit. So the ends, I'm really excited about 2 of them. And then I'm excited about this guy's name. So from Lyngby, who are in the Super League and team, or league, not team, Oscar Snore. We're just going to call him Snore. That may not be how you pronounce it, but we're going to call him Snore. He's 19. We are paying him we're paying him 50 a week. We're paying 50 of his 140. So we're paying Simon the Giant 65. Our backup, we're going to pay 50. And I think we were playing Marco, the other keeper, we let go 35. So what is that? We have like 100 pound a week in goalkeeper. So 50 of that is going to this backup. He's 19. He's on contract through the end of the year or the end of the season. And I'm hoping to pick him up at the end of the season. They don't know that. We don't have a loan option or anything like that, but hopefully he falls in love with us and we can sign him. It looks quite good. 5-star potential, rated right behind the guy we already have, right? Who we're paying $250 a week, which is, again, quite a bit of an upgrade from what we were paying our other keeper, but he's quite good, so that's okay. And he's 22. So we got a backup keeper. We have essentially 2 keepers on staff right now. That's probably not enough because one of them is inevitably going to get injured and we'll have to play a regen or something like that, but it is what it is. But I'm really excited here. Nikolai Johannesson. Okay. Johannesson. There you go. Left back, can play center back, can play a little bit up into like a wing back role. 4-star potential ability. 400 a week is what we're paying him. So like we got promoted, we're spending some money. The board's going to let us spend money, we're going to spend some money. He's going to replace Larson because Larson is 170 a week. We got him to go down to a backup contract. He was at 240 a week. We needed to have some sort of a backup, so he's all right. I mean, but last season, right, he put a 6.76. Before that, he was 6.86. He's just, he's a useful player. That's fair. But look at all, this is very bad. So he went out to a backup contract versus Nikolai here, who's 24, 3-star to 4-star potential. Not a lot of negative things going on here. Can improve, good player, blah, blah, blah. Lacks a little bit of determination, 7, but like so does everybody else on our team. So we got to work on that. So I'm really pleased with him, even though he's 400 a week. Then this guy, I'm excited about him as a player and his name. God's Way Donya. Are you serious? Are you serious? That's a great name. Here we go. 23-year-old Ghanaian striker / left winger. He actually prefers the left wing, but he's also, if you look, he's one of our best strikers. He's the best striker we own. Let's put it that way. And he's well ahead of Daniel Holm, according to Peter Thompson here. And he's right behind Staring there. Quite good. And if you look at the attacking midfielder left, he's the best one we got, even though we got Yao, Agud, and Camille. So we're paying him 400 a week. He's got 1 cap for Ghana. I almost said Ghanaian. My mouth got stuck in between. Really good physicals. Needs to work a little bit on the technicals and the mentals, and he's got decent determination. So he's an overall decent player here, but his physicals, hopefully, if he can get him moving down the flanks there on the left side, we can kind of make some of that stuff work. He played in the Superliga for Nordjylland and did quite well. 7 goals, 19 appearances, 25 total appearances, 6.805 rating if you average it out. I think he's quite a good player. Started back here, Man City picked him up. I mean, I'm just saying, they loaned him out and then they bought him got him on a free. But I think he's quite good. Said he might have, the medical staff said he might have a problem with injuries, although it's not listed here. He did have a broken ankle in February of 2017 and then a back strain. So he's kind of had some issues, but I figured for this level of physical ability and star rating, he was worth the risk because we really needed to beef up our wingers and our strike force. So I'm really, really, really thrilled with him. I'm also really thrilled that our new president and board and all that kind of stuff has given me a new contract. So let's take a look at that, shall we? All right, so we were on 300 a week, which if I remember correctly, after tax was like 210. We're up to a whopping 450, which is 300 per week. So apparently taxes in Denmark, quite extensive, right? You go from, I was paying 90 in taxes on 300, and I go up to 450, so I'm paying 150 in taxes on 450. Woof. that's kind of rough. But I think we'll start doing here is maybe look for a place to stay a little bit nicer than the one we're in right now, and maybe I'll share that as an intro to a video at some point in the future. But gives quite the nice little raise here. Now that we got promoted, they wouldn't give me a 2-year deal, which I think is a little irritating because it's like you're trying to convince your players we're here for the long term. They're kind of like, let's see how this goes, right? They're expecting a mid-table finish, which I think is interesting, versus like, hey, just don't get relegated. They're saying mid-table, so we'll see how that goes. We've played some friendlies. We've made a lot of money on our friendlies. So we played BK Olympic. That's essentially, I don't want to say a nobody team because there's probably somebody that likes them, but not in comparison to we ran the money league. We actually won a game against the Superliga team, and they were 12th place last season, so they avoided relegation, but we beat them. So we're gonna hang our hat on that. Then we played the really good ones. So they came in second place, Aalborg last season, and then Copenhagen, who are apparently the class of the league. They've won it a bunch of times in the last 15 years, and they smoked us 3-1. They smoked us 4-0. So actually, I guess Aalborg gets all the credit there. But last season we had 200, 300, 800 people at friendly, something like that. Maybe I think the most we had at a home game, like a league game, was 1,200. Take a look at this. 99-14 coming to this match because they're like the class of the league, right? So if you look at our finances here, we've gone from, it was about 56,000 pounds at the end of last season. We've played 6 friendlies and we're up to 139,000 pounds. We are going to rescue this club financially. That is the goal. TV revenue, 200 grand. Gate receipts, 65,700 roughly. Match day, 19,700. I mean, absolutely smashing it with those friendlies, getting the TV revenue. So that is what is going on here at the club thus far. All right, let's take a look at the squad now. So you'll notice squad list a lot shorter than it was last season. I was like, you want to play on a free for an amateur contract? Come on down. Everybody, you want to play? Here we got extra jerseys. Sure, we'll iron on numbers onto it eventually. It's fine. You're going to sit on the bench unless we absolutely need you, but it's fine. Come on down, right? So in the first division, you can only have 25 players on the squad, and 4 of them have to be homegrown. That has represented a bit of a problem for us. So we've moved a bunch of people. We haven't cut them just yet because, again, they're not getting paid anything. But Batterin, who was like our emergency left and right back, is on the B squad. Masserone, who we brought in, is now on the B squad. Hansen is on the B squad. Hammershaj on the B squad. Sorensen on the B squad. So it's just players that's like, we kind of don't really need you right now. But when we had to do our registration, we had to leave some players out. Let me look here. The beautiful thing is, if they're under age of 20 on January 1st of the upcoming year, they don't have to be registered. So we have had to register Jakobsen and Viscom to get to our 4 homegrown players thing. So even though you don't have to, if you don't register them, then they don't hit that minimum of 4 players trained. The problem is our youth facilities are so bad, that is going to represent a problem for a couple of years. So we're going to have to kind of get creative with our U19s. We do have some decent players coming up. I wanted to try and leave them here if we could to like continue to develop and get them some game time. So, and most of them, we do have some 17-year-olds, but right, 3-star ability. We need to get them up to speed. So most of them, right, like this guy up here, Michael Jensen, is already 1.5 stars, 5-star potential, but he can't play because he's not 17. That's the rules of the league. So we're going to leave these folks down here, but we're going to have to start scooping them up and bringing them up to the main squad, the senior team, for those, assuming we don't get relegated, right? And then when we have our next youth intake, because we already had a bunch of people come in and they were kind of, well, we said, see you later. We kept like 1 or 2 of them, right? I think we kept Patrick Carlson here because he looked decent. And I can't remember who else it was. Maybe he might be the only one because that's when the contract is. But besides that, it's just kind of like, hey, you guys are all right. But the next time we have youth intake, we're probably going to have to keep some of those people to start building up that depth in our, been trained at the club ranks. So that's what's going on there. We have had some staff turnover. Our coach got poached to be a head coach in the 2nd division. Can't blame him for that. So we brought in Thomas Weihrush. I don't know how it's said in Danish. I was thinking Weihrush if it was German or something like that. But overall, pretty good coach. He's definitely more of an attacking coach. If you put him on attack, 13, 8, 11, 12, and 6 for this level, quite nice. So we've got him on the attacking duties of coaching. And we've also picked up a fitness coach, Thomas Hogue, who's 12 fitness, 9, 11, 9. Pretty good. We didn't have a fitness coach, so anything is better than that. Kept our goalkeeping coach, and we got Peter Thompson, who is our head of youth development, 15, 12, and 10. So he's a nice little signing there. Hopefully, with him working with youngsters and judging the player ability and the potential, we can start getting some better youth prospects in. So that's going to wrap it up for today's episode. I did want to just give you a snapshot of who's at the squad, all that kind of stuff. This is who we're going to roll out primarily. We got Soren Bobensi, Derek Nissen here in that right back role. These guys, the center backs, I'm not too jammed up about. We got Crab, Kaltoft, Moomin, and Stockholm. Stockholm's the only one on a backup contract. We're going to rotate everybody else. We'll rotate Stockholm too, but we're going to kind of rotate those guys. Johannessen, there we go, gonna get it right, is going to be our left back. Reiner Peterson, Vito in that box-to-box midfielder. Emmanuel Ogud, who we brought in last season. He's up to $600 a week because his contract, I gave him like a raise if we got promoted, and I thought it was excluding the current season, and apparently it's not. But he played a 6.63 on 8 games. He's new to the club. He's Nigerian, so he's learning the language, I believe, or he was at the time. I don't know. Let's find out. Because I said that now, it's probably wrong. Oh, nope, he's fluent. Nope, there's that excuse. He was new to the club, right? So he's still figuring out his role, I guess, right? So if he doesn't start playing well, we will have to not renew his contract or see if we can sell him on. Falk and Donyo on the left side. Again, he can rotate up top depending on how tired people are. Daniel Holm up top. We have brought him back on a rotation contract. He didn't want a first team. He was glad to take a rotation. But again, he was our leading goal scorer last season, 27 appearances, 13 goals, 7 assists, 5 players of the match. We'll keep that around. We've extended the loans of Jakobsen here, who last season gave us, that was last season, right? 18 appearances, a goal, 2 assists, and a 7 rating. And Simon Staring has stayed on. He's on a rotation contract. Here we go. 20 appearances, 4 goals, assists, 6, 7, 9. Again, he's got the potential to be great. He just wasn't great last season, so hopefully getting that extra season of loan will help out. And we have extended Yao here. He was on a backup contract, even though we didn't kind of really use him on a backup contract. He's on a rotation contract now. 24 appearances, 4 goals, 7 assists, 2 players in the match, 7-1-4. He's quite good. So he's going to be competing with Donya for playing time, or Donya may take out Holm. We'll kind of see how that plays out. But that's what our squad looks like right now. We got Kaladin and Mirabel, who are amateurs, kind of like our emergency subs here. But that's the squad that we've got to roll out for the season. If you've enjoyed that episode, smash a like on it. Subscribe if you're new. Leave a comment. Let me know what you think about the signings, the moving around, the transfers, all that kind of stuff. And we will see you in the next episode when we take on Næstved. And then we'll find out who our cup opponent is. We want to get our first, it's televised, right? It's got to be a big game. They came in fourth last season in the league, and then we'll play the cup game. That's what's coming in episode 19. But again, smash a like, subscribe if you're new. We'll see you then.